Craig, welcome to Wimbledon.
Cheers, Thorpe.
How have you found your first month in the job? And what's your verdict on the January transfer window?
Yeah, so my first month's been interesting. A really positive experience. Coming in mid-window can be quite daunting, but I saw it as an opportunity. Obviously, I'd heard a lot about the club before coming in, about how we've dealt with setbacks in the past. And that was no different when I saw it firsthand in my first recruitment meeting when we got dealt with the loanees being recalled and interest in Ayoub. So it was really good to see firsthand how the club came together, especially the management staff, and we all integrated very quickly, came up with a solution to our problem and acted upon that. So that obviously leads on to the January transfer question. So at the start, obviously we got dealt with that. Moving into the later stages of the window, we knew exactly where we wanted to go. Myself, Johnny, Jamie Johnson, who was our interim head of recruitment, and the guys here worked really hard to ensure that we came out in as good a shape as we could, moving into the rest of the season and best preparing ourselves for that. In terms of the club as a whole, going away from the recruitment, speaking to people before coming in and doing a lot of research, obviously, you know, about the fans, the story, the journey, how everyone's together, there's that resilience and a bit of defiance there. And obviously you hear about it coming in, but actually experiencing it firsthand, and I haven't been disappointed at all. It's really got under my skin. My family have been down to games, it's got under their skin, they love the story. So really happy to be in. I can't wait to kick on with everything.
We appointed Danny Macklin as the club's managing director, with his main focus being the business side. Can you give us an indication of what your role entails? So
put simply, I'll be looking after the football side of the club, looking after loads of aspects such as player recruitment, the infrastructure behind the first team and the academy, the environment, the training ground, and really trying to create an environment where the people employed in the company and the players have got the best environment they can have to achieve their potential. And that's basically me in a nutshell. I'm looking at all aspects. I'm looking at the sports science and medical, got some really good staff in there, and how I can help them and put together a structure in place. I'm looking at the player recruitment, obviously, how I can support the manager, how I can support Michael with all the good work they've done in the academy. So even down here at KCL, having a look around and seeing where we can upcycle stuff and get the best use out of our facility.
How much of your role is focused on developing a recruitment blueprint for the future?
So the player recruitment aspect is probably the biggest part of my role. I'm intending on putting together a structure and process in place where we can de-risk signings as much as possible, and evidence base what we're trying to do. And then obviously that goes all the way through from not just identifying players to recommending players to sign up like that. It goes beyond signing players when we look at the infrastructure here to make sure any new signing has got the best environment for them to come and, you know, acknowledge their potential and really perform at the level they're expecting to and we're expecting them to. Not everyone's obviously gets recruitment 100% right, but if we can try and de-risk as much as we can and evidence base it, then hopefully we'll make more positive signings than negative. In terms of model and structure, I've obviously worked at a few football clubs now. Being close to recruitment departments at Nottingham Forest and Birmingham City, I was able to see what they did. Again, in League 2 at Cheltenham and Notts County, I saw what they did. And then obviously at Solihull for the past 4 years, we obviously put a structure in place there. I'm going to use those experiences as well as my contacts in the game to try and put a structure in place here that's suitable for the management staff, AFC Wimbledon and the football club, the academy, and try and bring everything together. So that's my remit at the moment and my immediate future.
What are the main challenges as we look to overhaul and improve all aspects of our football operations?
The biggest challenge for me in my role is trying to find that balance between short term, here and now, what the football club needs, and then with that eye on the future, because obviously everything that's happened here and what most football clubs I believe should be is having one eye on the future, making sure the club's sustainable, well run, and no decision impacts the future of any football club. So that balance is probably the biggest challenge, to make sure we approach every big decision like that. So practically speaking, we're going to look at the processes and structure behind the club and from a football point of view, and how we can fine tune that, make the club more of an professional working environment to best support everyone here to get the best out of their potential. Obviously, we can look around at the training ground, how we can maximise the resource here to get the best out of it. An interesting thing which I've not experienced before is obviously the fan involvement. The Blue and Yellow Club donated the TV you saw out there, that's huge. That's really going to help with analysis, recruitment meetings across first team and academy level. And it's just little bits like that just make a massive difference to us for those marginal gains, and we can try and always continually improve. I'm really looking forward to meeting the fans on Tuesday at the Phoenix. I've met loads of really interested and cool people since I've been here, obviously across the stadium here. I've not met many fans yet. I did a walk around before the Stockport game, and there's lots of questions coming my way, so I'm looking forward to Tuesday night and speaking to them at the Phoenix.
At Wimbledon, we try to maximise our resources. How important is it that we're innovative with our recruitment?
Every club obviously does recruitment. Everyone does it their own way. Most clubs now have access to the same platforms, data providers, scouting systems. So it's all about how competitive we can be and how we can find an edge that best suits us as a football club. Obviously, we tried to that at my previous employers. We've always tried and find an edge somewhere, whether we look into data, whether we look into scouting. We get opinions from people that have worked with players before. We're always looking for that, if we can nick a yard somewhere and get ahead of the game. I think that mainly comes from, I keep saying it, but structure. So we're going to be no different here. We're going to try and work as hard as we can and as smart as we can to try and get an edge on the market and see if we can get a couple of really good value signings.
We have a rich history of bringing through players for the future from our academy. How will you aim to build on this moving forwards?
I've spent a lot of time with Michael, been really impressed with him and his team. Obviously, the results are evident, what they've produced, what the players that have moved on, players that have played for the football club. So that's a really exciting academy we've got, and something we should really be really proud of. I've spoken a lot about recruitment in this interview and with everyone previously, so we need to try and strike a balance where the processes we use at first team level recruitment we give to the academy, we integrate them into it, so we're aware of players they're looking at and players they've got within the building, which should give us a decision to make when looking at a player. If we've got one in the academy, do we need to bring that player in? Is it Buckingham's pathway? So I think a joined up approach will help us continue the good work the academy's done, continue that pathway into the first team, and help us make better informed decisions.
You mentioned your previous roles at other clubs. How have those experiences helped to shape your career to date?
I've done quite a lot for my age, and I've been fortunate with some of the clubs I've worked at. I've worked with some really, really good people. Birmingham City and Nottingham Forest, I was able to just observe, some really good sporting directors, head of recruitment, like lead analysts, chief scouts, and then they took me under their wing, got me involved with them, really opened my eyes to this side of football from an analysis point of view, and gave me the belief that I could go on to do something like this. So the experiences from there, the experiences working in League 2 with Cheltenham, Notts County, and having that tight-knit working environment has led me into obviously coming in here and settling in so well. So that's really helped from those previous years. I think coming from an analytical background and working within a first team coaching staff quite closely with everyone, I'm able to appreciate the support staff more. I know what their gripes are, I know what motivates them, I know what makes them feel valued and wanted. So I think that's an extra edge to come in. I think you see a lot of people similar background to me that have moved into these roles across the Football League. So those experiences have really, really helped me, and obviously latterly Solihull, I was able to drop down the levels to put in place my structure, what I'd learnt previously. So I've had a run at it there. I'm going to have a run at it. Obviously I'm going to do my best here, slightly change things from my previous club, but get the buy-in of everyone and get the input of everyone so they all own the process as well.
Just lastly, what's your main focus between now and the end of the season?
So my main focus is making sure we're best prepared for the summer window. First and foremost, the recruitment is probably the most important aspect of my role as I've been over. I've been keen to bring in someone on an analytical point of view and recruitment, but as I just mentioned with the academy, if you can promote your own, that's perfect. So we've got Tom Dawes here, who I've been really, really impressed with. He's seen me come in and he wants to follow a similar career path to me, so it's enough nous and knowledge of the recruitment industry that we're going to give him an opportunity to step up and help out the recruitment analysis. That's going to give us another little edge. Really happy he's going to do that. And then beyond the recruitment is look at this place. How can we get an extra 10-20% out of it? How can we tweak things to make just the environment a bit better? And build that infrastructure behind the football department again, so everyone can maximise their potential.
Great, we wish you all the best. Thanks for your time.
Cheers, Thorpe Dog.